100% mobile.
100%. Whoopsie daisy. Hey, we are tWoTcast, episode 387. No, he doesn't. No. Okay.
All right, everyone, shut the up. Let's ready to record.
We like to start every show by yelling, "We are tWoTcast." Can you do that with me? On the count of 1, 2, 3, go. We are tWoTcast. Now we can start.
The Wheel of Time, reread podcast, explicit in R, freaking rated. Jono's the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man, he's the total dick. Tom is still obsessed with X-Men.
Previously on X-Men.
We are
Yeah. Tom's already gone.
Yeah.
Already. You know?
Tom calls in if he's not too busy. Yeah.
And he's flushing the toilet on camera. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Now that I'm mobile, I was just like, I don't need to use the bathroom.
I
Let's
could
go
pee.
later.
I could
The
pee now.
second it started, I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
I gotta pee.
And then I
You're
thought I
viewing
had more time.
tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time Reread podcast, now covering the tWoTties, the Wheel of Time Awards, boys and girls, and everybody else. With me, as always, is Jono.
Jono.
And I'm Joe, and Tom is currently not in the bathroom anymore.
You walk into the garage,
like it,
nothing
though.
there?
Sounds like I'm in the shower.
It sounds like you're still peeing, is what it sounds like.
I know. That's what
Tom's
you
just,
get.
he's going to be taking a piss in his garage for the next 2 hours.
That's how it goes.
Well,
Oh, man. Classic.
This is the best I've been lit in years.
Oh,
what
Outside
boy.
in the complete darkness.
yeah.
Do you guys... Last week we were talking about adaptions, you know, for fantasy and whatever.
Yeah.
Adaptations. Sure,
Yeah.
yes.
With Nicolas Cage.
Do you remember Fuss Fussy was gonna have a show with Lin-Manuel Miranda. Is that still happening?
I think that's been put on the quote-unquote back burner because,
Because he never writes a book.
well, yet. Nothing, never writes yet. He's also responding to me at some point. He hasn't responded yet.
To your text messages?
He's responding at some point.
Yeah, I did text Patrick, and he didn't respond yet. Very
well. You boys have a fun conversation. Violet's yelling, so I'll be right back.
Oh, all right. Well, that sounds great. So we can listen
I
to the sound.
have an idea to propose to you.
What's that?
Here, listen. Text Patrick Rothfuss and just say, "Hey, I lost Lin-Manuel Miranda's phone number. Could you send it to me real quick?" And see if he does.
I may just start parsing out random text to him. Like, I waited far too long because I didn't want to abuse the number, and then I'm like, why the fuck do I have this? But yeah,
there's no way he still has. He can't possibly still have that same phone number.
I mean, well, whoever's got it's not responding. I'll tell you that. We should definitely just once a month.
Your number's blocked for sure. He's not getting the text messages.
Well, that's disappointing. That's a big disappointment. Oh, Joe calls in if he's not too busy.
All right.
Oh,
guess what that was.
I don't
Sound
know.
of a tool chest?
She made a trap for a leprechaun for St. Patrick's Day, and she wanted to run it by me to see if it would work to catch a leprechaun.
It's a good plan.
Now, isn't that a TV show?
I mean, it's fucking good job, kid. That's all I gotta say.
I believe To Catch a Leprechaun was a thing of trying to catch little ginger Irishmen.
Yeah.
Who were diddling.
Yeah, Charlie caught a leprechaun that one time.
Diddle bartenders.
Oh man, okay. Sorry, back on it.
Yeah.
Kind of slightly distracted, but then it was so adorable that I was like, all right, fine. I love you.
I mean, that's a worthy interruption.
Good day, good people in Jono. Oh, Juan Holocaust here. A man with one hand, a man with a head with one eye, a soul twin forged, a memory of light. A memory of light. Okay. Oh, there's more. A red sister's compromise and a Mirland sacrifice, a doom seer's visions, a memory of light, a memory of light. Okay. Juan Holocaust writes poetry. I don't know if you guys knew it. 10 minutes to completion. Hola, amigos. Hey, Wyatt Man. Beej is here. Evening all. Ayush is here. All right, Ayush. Yeah, okay. We're good. All right, boys. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. Forgive it for now.
That being said, I had my headphone in the whole time, and I completely agree with Tom. And Patrick Fussy has definitely blocked your number, like years ago. Years ago.
After the first phone call.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well. That was good though. That was a good.
Because it was on the. Remember, we figured it out. It was like around the time that he was like waiting to hear if the show was happening.
That's the Lin-Manuel Miranda show. That's why it's full circle. Dude.
And then so he was probably the only reason he answered the phone, because he was like, "Oh, that's a weird number."
He and I had a great time.
Maybe it's my agent.
Yeah. I would hope he knows his agent.
Maybe it's Lin-Manuel.
Yeah. Hey, it's Lin-Man Jono. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah. Bridge burn.
Yeah.
I would say.
Oh well. Bridge never really existed.
Yeah, bridge never really existed. All right, yeah. Well, you guys ready? You guys ready to get into this already?
What are we doing, Joe? What's tonight's show about? Again.
This is our episode covering A Memory of Light, but as awards, part 2. Because it was too much to cover in one part, we realized.
It's a really long
but as
one.
awards, tonight on the tWoTties. Oh, and I suppose spoilers, of course, for the books and / the TV show. Because this is the last book.
A similar decision to Brandon Sanderson, where it's just too long for one part.
Yeah. I did think of that as we were doing it. I was like, what have we done?
We should have done this in 3 parts then.
Yeah, we should have made it a trilogy.
The tWoTties Mockingjay Part 2.
Yeah.
And the
I was gonna say I would go with Deathly Hallows on our podcast, but yeah,
You can do it
Mockingjay
all.
works.
You just merge it all together.
Yeah.
All right.
The tWoTties twat harder.
Did you guys ever read those books?
Which books?
Mockingjay? Yeah, the
Hunger Games?
The Hunger Games? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Remember how the first one was good, and then it was like they didn't know what to do after that. And they were like,
Yeah. It was bad.
I didn't remember the first part, but I do remember the last part, where none of it.
2 and 3. Is there? Yeah, they're not great.
Also
They're really,
like,
really political. Like they get into the politics of the whole like world, and because it's they're ripping down the Hunger Games as an institution, and I don't know.
the concept idea is fun too, because you're like, what would I do? Holy crap, that's scary. And then it's like, oh, you can't do anything because they're just going to cheat the whole time. And also turn your dead friends into dogs or something. I don't remember how the book went.
Yeah, turn your dead friends into mutant dogs. It's fine. It's totally fine. That makes complete sense. Also, Battle Royale did it better, and let's all just agree to that.
I like that one comic book where they did it. I forgot what it was called.
A Mockingjay of Hollows. Oh, of Swallows. Oh, Wyatt Man, one up to Beach.
A Mockingjay of Swallows is different.
Let's get into the tWoTties. Every time I put that on, I always kind of like look down at my papers and I stop paying attention for a second, and then I realize that I have to like quickly change the background to make it like a flawless transition for our viewers.
And it's also only like 5 seconds long at best.
Yeah, like oh shit, I only have a second.
Hold on a second, I'm gonna run a few errands while this song plays.
And our viewers only expect flawlessness from us.
Our viewers expect flawlessness. Just like the way I said that word. What are we starting with, Tom?
Award? We gotta go. I wasn't ready to do this myself. Let's do the Dumbledore Award for Best Gandalf.
The Dumbledore Award for Best Gandalf. The best mentor of the book.
A quick note: the Dumbledore Award is going to go to because he's on his phone right now. Every time he has to read an award, he's going to go bye-bye for a moment. So
his camera will flip away.
I also have to go back and look at the nominees and pick a winner.
Yeah. So, who are our nominees, Rhubarb?
Let's start with. I don't love any of these.
They're not good.
We'll do Matt first, I guess. It just says Matt literally teaches everyone how to general.
It's a joke entry.
Well,
it's all. I mean, the 5 great captains all get like compulsed, and they're off the board, and then he's just like, "All right, fine, I'll take over." It's just, and he wins the battle, right?
It gets everyone in the classroom. He's like, "Let me teach you how to general."
He's like, "Let me teach you how to general. This is what you do. You get the
No one
gateways, you
bought it,
point them
though.
down to the battlefield, idiots, and then you can see everything. And plus, you hide your cannons inside of a cave. No one knows you're there."
No one bought it almost the whole time anyway. It was frustrating. I kept waiting for this grand moment where everyone started to acknowledge it and like, wait a minute. And instead they were like, oh, this dickhead's doing good. We'll see how long this lasts. And that's just the way it seemed to go.
That's fair.
So we're going to go on an unnecessary rant, considering that this is not at all relevant to the topic. But fuck it. I went around. I went, skimmed this way too closely. Halfway read the book, and again, I probably said this last week, but I was drunk and forgot, just like I will today. I am extremely appreciative to Brandon for all the work he did to finish this fucking book. But the amount of shit that I'm like reading about it like this time, and I'm just like, this is not the best writing. This is not the best like plot cohesion. And I hate saying that because I fucking love this series, I love this book. I love the editors who did this. I really appreciate the fuck out of the man who wrote this. I hate saying that. I hate it very, very much. And I hate yelling about it just drunk. But
no, you don't. You love this part.
But some of the ways that like every fucking great general responded with like, oh, like it was like a bad stupid. They couldn't understand why they were making bad decisions, and like it's just
What are you saying? Like more of them should have been like It's a Roll Day and like and started to figure out that they were making wrong decisions without knowing what they're doing, or
literally one of them was, well, we were getting attacked on the flank. Okay, so I took my other flank over there. That's so someone should have taken Matt Cawthon's Intro to Generalism. Because
I mean, he's teaching. He teaches. It's like around the clock. It's 24 hours. I don't know why. You think he can't? He doesn't sleep ever. He just keeps getting healed.
And Gareth Briney, then Ace Ventura's cousin, brought. His response was, "Well, then I brought a second group, also from the reserves."
Let's note these words. This doesn't happen often.
Yeah, thank you.
But every once in a while, Jono will say something insightful and meaningful.
I don't think it's insightful.
And without any hint of sarcasm. Yeah, every once in a while.
It's also interesting. There's such great generals doing such terrible moves that no one's questioning it, or even like no one even is capable of realizing their bad decisions for like the longest time.
Until
like,
does Land figure it out first? Like who? Because I feel like Algamar's taken off the board pretty quick.
Somebody figures it out for Lan, I think, or points it out to him.
Well, they're saying it, and he's like, I hear you, but I still trust Algamar. I've known him my whole life or whatever. But then, like, eventually he's like, oh, fuck, they're right. So also, you're right. It wasn't Lan that noticed per se, but it was still him taking action when.
But also, Lan of all people can't just be like, well, there can't possibly be an outside influence. Like,
seriously, yeah.
It is a little. Yeah, whatever. You just kind of have to roll with it.
What else he said Bashir? He said Baldir.
Actually, he said Baldir, which is both a sexual reference, which was always fun, and then a real character.
And also our classic nickname for him.
Yeah,
sorry, we're way too deep on this. It's just the nominee for best Dumbledore. Matt.
You're right. Anyway, Matt's a really good general. And I feel like he taught them all how to fight last battle.
Yeah.
Tom Maryland?
Oh, yeah.
What?
So Reach as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just... I don't even think there's a grand winner here.
Can you
if there's not.
I can't wait until we're further on, like in 3 years, because that's a fucking real sentence. Where we're
I just wrote... Go ahead. The reread?
This is an important rant. In 3 years, when we're rereading this actual book 14 for our show, again, in 3 years, at JordanCon 20, because we can't add.
It'll be way more than 3 years.
I fucking hope not.
Last reread in like the middle of book 4. We have other things to do. It's going to take a
No, we haven't started book 4. On the reread, we're at the beginning of book 4.
Do you remember what Tom Maryland does during the last battle? He sits around quasi-smoking.
I actually love it.
But does that make sense that like women just pretend like dark friends in disguise keep walking past him hoping like
people are trying to get into the cave to get Rand and anyone who's down there, and he's guarding the cave.
Why wouldn't they just kill an old man? Just kill an old man. Why do you have to pretend to be in disguise?
What are you talking about? He's in a water cloak.
Just walk up there.
He's in a patchwork water cloak, hiding amongst the rocks.
I don't know why.
That's actually a really good point. If I can channel and I'm walking up to a cave and there's an old man guardian, I'm not going to be like, well, you better.
He'd limp out of the way before they even had a chance, boys. It's Tom Maryland.
Blow it up.
I feel like I'm like Dennis or Charlie.
He's just a simple glee man.
He's scary enough to wear a disguise, but not scary enough to just kill immediately. And they're just like,
Beach said, just to note that they bring in a military writer to assist Brandon with the war scenes.
That's true. Funny. They brought in Alan and what's his name? Michael Livingston.
Yeah.
Was Tom on a mountain in war scene? All right, next nominee is Rand Althor.
I think that's a great nominee. I think that's a great
I mean, I don't even think he does a lot of Gandalfing necessarily.
He mentors a lot of people. He mentors himself because he's literally talking to himself for a quarter of the book.
Dana appreciates your lighting, Tom. Really digging this Tom in half light and half pitch black. Pitch Black, a Vin Diesel movie, not Triple X though.
Yeah. Pitch Black, actually older than Blair Witch too.
Or
extremely old movie.
Is it really?
Welcome, fellow kids. to our show, our YouTube show that young people do.
Can't be.
What a Holocaust just wrote, they don't see him? For Tom Maryland. They don't see Tom. They don't see him? Oh.
A patchwork cloak is finally working as camouflage.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, we did it against this fucked up mountain.
All right. The winner's Moraine. For
Yeah. Come on.
I mean, the whole award is for her being the Dumbledore of the book. She came back to life. She just by existing, she wins. We're done.
I mean, she's literally Dumbledoring this. I mean, Gandalfing this book. I mean, like verbatim.
Yeah.
Moraine returns at Marilor, and then I just wrote she's the OG.
Dumbledore doesn't manage to make it back.
Yeah, he does. He's in
No, he
King's
doesn't.
Cross.
I mean, yeah, he's this Force ghost when Harry dies.
Yeah, it's your party, as they say.
You don't get to be. It doesn't matter if you're a Force ghost.
Yeah, you're still dead, I guess. You don't really come back.
Gandalf comes all the way back.
But I'm here. Not really.
Even Moraine, Gandalf came back better than ever.
Moraine took the other
that's true.
option.
She puts the prophecies in layman's terms.
Did it
Come
annoy
on, Wyatt
Did it annoy-
man.
that they depowered her.
Am I no? I'm not annoyed. It didn't bother
I
me.
got annoyed they depowered Lanfear.
It was interesting. I think it makes some. I don't know if there's any allusion to it previous to like book 12, but it doesn't bother me really. It doesn't have a giant effect on anything. Moraine being weaker or Sindane being weaker. It really doesn't. But it does kind of give a almost like a timeline for she was in here for a certain amount of time because she got this much sucked off versus Moraine.
Yeah.
I never enjoy when they cut off a hero's body part or depower them. It's just always annoying to me.
So what are your
Yeah,
thoughts
the
on
hand
all
thing
of
really
these?
bothers me with Rand.
I don't need the hero to overcome some sort of handicap to be like, oh, look, he really is a hero.
Yeah, like I don't need a story where Wolverine loses his healing factor or Superman's depowered. I just don't care. He's just going to get his powers back and it's over.
I'm going to ask Alan, but I will not share the information, sorry, to find out if that's a Brandon thing or a Robert Jordan thing. Because
I don't know.
That's Brandon, one of his tropes is often his characters losing their ability.
I really wanted Rand to have like a
just
power wrought hand or something. Or like hold his sword as if the hand was there, but it's like air or something.
I mean, it's a trope in fiction. It's exhausting. I thought Perrin was going to make him a new hand with his magical hammer.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Just hammer hand?
But I mean, Rand loses his hand just like Luke Skywalker does, which is a ripoff of when Jesus loses his hand, which is a ripoff of when Harry Potter loses his hand. And it's just,
exactly.
We don't need to do it.
And it's a ripoff of when Peter Pettigrew cut his own hand off to bring the dark one.
We don't need it. We don't need it. We get it. It's been done since the beginning of writing
of all books, which, as we all know, is Harry Potter.
First Harry Potter novel.
All the way around.
Yeah.
And I did shit on Brandon.
Been there, done that.
Rand
Beach. Tom said Tom is in the place where Rand and the Dark One fight. It's kind of how I imagine it, actually. It's very dark in there.
There's two women.
It's a Thor tier thing. I know. Yeah, one Holocaust. I know. But also it's. But that's the point. He gets a fake arm. You know.
It's also that one guy from the Dragonlance books that forges the Dragonlances. All right.
Oh, I don't remember that at all. Wow. My memory of those books is very bad.
Maybe we should.
What is the next category? It's going to be one of the big ones. No, wait. It's going to be a small one. It's going to be a small
okay.
Best director?
It'll be... Let's do Classic Elaine.
The Classic Elaine Award for Worst Elaine Moment. Spoilers. It's all of them. I always forget I wrote that until I put that card up. It always makes me laugh.
So
worst Elaine.
This is the one.
Man, there's good ones here. We're going to do them all. So let's start with she grants Evienda permission to have sex with Rand.
Yeah, I hate that. It pissed me off. It's one of those. It's always something with her. Yeah, I'll give you. You can go ahead and fuck him. Like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I just wrote, she doesn't need your fucking permission.
All right, we're not going to deep dive on it too much. All right, the other
Well, he is.
Here's another one that I can't. Mufta. She almost keeps the horn and over to herself as Andorran treasures.
That one.
That's
Yeah, she doesn't. In fairness to her, she doesn't. But that one set me the fuck off for a bit.
And it infuriates me anytime any of the leaders of the nations were like still trying to like hold their nation together, or agreeing with the White Tower, or any example thereof. It's just like just go win the last battle, then figure your shit out. Stop trying to like prepare for afterwards. Like try. Like that's the worst mentality to have.
There is a point to it. Like Rand's, the dragon's piece is extremely important, as Avienda saw in her viewing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a rationale to it, right? So like, but once you have this document that says, like, hey, here's your border, and the IEO are the fucking army. Everyone else is good. Who gives a fuck after that?
I gotta say, in the end of the last book and the start of this book, when Camlin's destroyed, like I think it's supposed to seem pretty dark and sad, and like I revel in it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me so happy. Fuck Andor and fuck her. Shithole. All right, hold on.
Better words have never been said, Tom.
Also, half of Andor is now, like, the western part's in Perrin's fucking hands, and it's all right.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Elaine goes out on horseback with her army. I guess it doesn't matter at this point, but fuck her. And then she gets ambushed, and Brigid is killed a mortal death. I mean,
good, bravo, Jono. Good job. Coming with some A-game material here.
Not only should she not be doing, like, it's wild.
Tom
all the generals are gone. Somehow she's in charge of something, and then she's still just like so fucking dumb at all times.
Oh, you said literally waiting on a bribe of generalship from Rand to agree to his plan.
Yeah, Ayush has a very, very.
That's one of mine.
I mean, it's relentless because she's featured heavily in this book, and I can't stop it.
Yeah, unlike last book, which was like a breath of fucking fresh air.
There was nothing.
No. Beach said back on Rand. So if Perrin gives him a hand and Rand uses it to masturbate, does Perrin technically give Rand a hand job?
100%.
That's a very important question.
It's not technically. It's actually.
Yeah.
Perrin did a hand job for Rand, and then Rand did a hand job with Perrin. And
yeah, I don't think Perrin's technically giving a Rand a hand job in that case.
It's an assist.
A strong
Is he
nominee,
putting the hand from afar? Take those balls, Rand.
But not the winner is existing.
Oh yeah, existing is a strong nominee, but this is a one book where it's not necessary to be the winner.
It's not the winner.
I can't believe in the last one I forgot about the fucking mattress being hoisted. But
oh my god, yeah.
This what happens here is also right fucking there, Dutch Rudder. It's Rudder.
It's Rudder. It's Rudder. He probably spell checked.
Named after your mother's dog, I believe.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
The winner is, and I'm going to read both your entries, and surprisingly, the second entry is Jono's, but Joe wrote, she's in charge of an army, question mark, exclamation point. But Jono wrote, somehow this Bent is in charge of armies, question mark, exclamation point.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? No sense whatsoever.
Even when I read that, like, with less, like, full fury in my veins, like, to this day on a reread, I'm like, where is the logic here? Like, what the fuck is this?
Well, Joe,
she's in charge of two of the nations. Who gives a shit? She's been in charge for 5 minutes.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
She's never commanded anybody in a battle ever, except for Camelin, and they lost.
Anyone else?
Literally, I was just like, and not only, no, I mean, I know I love Matt and everything, but like, and that's all I wanted that to happen in that scene was for him to be like, actually, it's going to be this guy, and for everyone to be like, what the fuck? But like, Jordan set that up like early on with like Matt and the Shido, Aiel, and the Karian battle, and like all the stuff, and like he's like, holy fuck, and Lan even points out like Matt's. Like, he's got something going on. I don't know what it is exactly, but maybe you should talk to him because he's fucking really smart and knows what he's doing. And, like, they, like, slowly build it up throughout the books and in the Band of the Red Hand and, like, all the things. And I'm just like, why all the build up?
Is the reveal, like...
For him to get passed by.
it is the way that it comes like actually like, worth it to you though. Like the whole point being like actually there was someone around the whole time, and therefore
Who is her alternative? What a Holocaust, he said.
I said
Wyatt Man said
anyone
Matt.
else. Anyone else.
And then he said she gave it to Matt. Yeah, she gave it to Matt when it was clearly should have been him the whole time. Yeah,
but,
I remember.
do you think that it's clearly that Matt was the most competent general since literally book 5 with that time that Land just brings
He's
it all
buddies
out
with
of
Archer Hawkwing.
yes, I know. And that scene though in book 5 is awesome, where Land just asks like 6 questions. Next thing you know, Matt lays out the entire battle plan. It's fucking great. But do you think that the way that this is done actually makes some sense of, we know based on literally 20 years ago, the Aiel War, that these people never fucking do what they should be doing anyway. And therefore having Matt as a backup that is kind of tapped anyway, because the original plan fell through. So that, I think that actually makes some sense.
No, again, that all
Except
of that notwithstanding, like, would it have been a better book for Matt to be in charge the entire time and slowly lose and then pull out a win at the end versus like having the generals be compulsed and everything starts falling apart and then they have to go to him and it makes it like that much more of like a sweeps in and wins everything like with Matlock? That is better. I agree with that. I know, like, ultimately that is better. Still giving it to Elaine is the part where I'm like, what the
there
fuck?
you go. So that's the point.
Like, it's not that I'm like, Matt should have been it from day one. It's more like I'm like,
It's
but
really
why
the sheer-
Elaine? Like, it makes no fucking sense. Anyway, Beach said she had Rand in a compromising position and he was willing to agree to anything at that moment. Would she really have kept him there? Also, what about Rand's Tavir in this? Was it like not working right then?
Maybe that was.
I don't buy that for a second.
Maybe that was part of the Taviran-ness. She's
unqualified.
Yeah, she's unqualified. And while Holokowski's point is, but who knew that about Matt, kind of thing. And then while this like Land, Rand, Moraine.
Oh my God.
just starts listing
literally
people.
Any soldier in her army that's ever been in a battle before is more qualified to tell people where to go and what to do on a battlefield than her. She's 1,000.
She's bossing the generals, though. The generals are bossing the troops. Like, I get it in that sense. But still, like, of all the assembled, like, royalty, even, someone from the Borderlands right away would be at the top of my list. I'd go through the whole Borderlands before I went to Elaine.
Madness.
I'd go through all of the... just everyone else.
The entire Aiel.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we move on.
If you want Elaine
seriously,
to be in
Rorik
charge,
should have been in charge.
If there's like,
Rorik really deserved better.
If there's like a 50-50 decision to be made and like it literally could go either way, you pick one, like then she can be the person that picks. She can decide whether or not to go for 2 points in overtime. That's it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
She's not calling the plays. It's insane.
Yeah.
Laces out Elaine.
I mean, it's ingenious on Rand's part. He essentially forces Elaine to work with other people and listen, which isn't a small issue, but it's still a literal bribe, which is infuriating. Ayush said. Yeah, I agree with all of that, Ayush.
All right, so question. Do you want to do a small award?
Well, Holokowski said I'd cede to Rorik. Good, because he would have been the best option, honestly.
Or any other aisle.
Bale, Bale.
You want to do a small award or a big one, small, big one?
Big one, small, big one.
Yeah, let's do big one, small, big one.
All right, we're going to do most valuable.
Wait, was that not just a big one, though? I thought that was one of the biggest ones.
No, Worst Elaine is one of the... Worst Elaine is the biggest one for me in this
Worst
book.
Elaine is the big one. It's the biggest one there is.
The most valuable character of the book. The
This
entire
is not a big
book.
deal to me.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 nominees.
Okay.
We'll start.
It's a lot of. It's a lot.
We'll start. This nominee has no chance of winning, but one of Joe's nominees, Olver.
I mean, he blows the horn. He blows the horn of Valyr. It's important.
You
need it. You can't not have it.
It's important. It's very important. I still don't know if I think. It's
Although I do hate him for it because when he did that, Brigitte came back and saved Elaine's life.
Over is like whatever movie was against The Godfather the year it won the Academy Award.
Yeah, that's true. I know, but he still deserves a nomination, you know.
Does he?
I still don't know if I liked. Like, I think it was a clever thing that was always kind of like, what was Matt ever dead?
Overseer said over, obviously.
Like the question was Matt ever dead, and if so, did his death count? Was always something that was like theorized, because technically he died 2 different times, right? It depends on how you look at things. At the end of
I mean, would the Horn of Valere think that Matt was dead if he went to another dimension? He's off the map.
Okay, Beastie Boys. I don't know. And that's a great question.
Extra step.
Yeah, but he hung from the tree, Tom. That's when he died.
Yeah, he died a lot. Like a lot.
He also got struck by lightning but then he was bail-fired. So I don't know if that one counts. But he definitely
getting bail-fired. Bail-fired shouldn't count because it never happened.
Yeah, it shouldn't count. Yeah,
otherwise
right.
He'd still be dead.
Question for you. All right. So if I have relations with,
it's the tree. Yeah.
And then she's bail-fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, it depends on how far back that thread gets burned, Jono.
Yeah. By the way, this is totally consensual sex, but you would know about it because she was bail-fired.
He died a 3rd time when they made that show.
And then again when he got recast. If your heart stops when you sneeze and you're tied to the Horn of Valere, did you die? And is it over?
Big one, small one, big one is how Egwene describes Aram, Gawain, and Galad. Thank you, Beach. Sorry, Tom, what did you say?
I don't even care anymore.
No.
All right, next nominee. We're moving on. We're not spending this much time with fucking Over.
Oh, but was he only mostly dead at the tree, Dana?
We're done with that part.
Dana said Matt died once and was only mostly dead the other time, the tree.
That's correct, yeah, because he actually he's resuscitated.
So the Balefire death count, that's it then. That's the one. That's the one that people think counts? All right, next nominee.
I think Jordan says.
Jono put Andrel, unfortunately.
Andrel?
Unfortunately.
Because of the Gateway volcano?
Think about what he does. He releases low.
I mean, he was wildly instrumental.
He's everywhere.
I'm so mad that he's on this list.
I'm the one who said unfortunately. I fucking hate it.
I know. He's not a bad character. I like that character. I found him really fun to read. It's just that it was the last book of the books, and I was like, why am I reading so much from this guy? I want to see the other character. And that was really the only... I will always hold that grudge, I guess, because that's the 100%. Only reason why. Because it's good writing, and I enjoy the parts with Andrel and Pivaro.
Is Andrel, unfortunately, a movie that's like a rom-com, or is Andrel, unfortunately, like a prestige series on like HBO or Apple TV where Andrel's always the person that you get when you try to like date somebody online and he's the one that shows up every time?
I think he's a rom-com.
You think he's a rom-com?
Yeah.
You think it's a movie?
Yeah, I think he's a movie. Yeah. And you can't like get away from it. You're just kind of like, well, this is what's on. And
I think it sounds like more of like a sitcom kind of thing where he's like the Steve Urkel that walks in the room and it's like, it's Andrel, unfortunately, and it's like, but I don't know.
Oh, so more of a so it's more of a skit on SNL.
Yeah, that's
what it is.
Something where like, a normal situation's happening and then it all goes wrong and they're like, unfortunately, it's Andrel.
All right. No, yeah, that's what the character is. Every time they have like a famous female guest on SNL, like they do like the online dating segment, and it's Andrel, unfortunately, is the guy that shows up.
Okay. I would love
the big seal heist. The big seal heist was kind of cool, though. Actually, I kind of liked it. Ulver said there's so many pages, and Andrel didn't take up too many. Maybe I feel like on rereads I have felt that way, that it's not as intrusive as I remember it being.
Hey, but this is a podcast of extremely highbrow shit where we're yelling.
Yeah. We like to yell at each
The
other.
first time you read that book, even one paragraph of Andrew is too much because you're just like, can I get back to anyone else that I care about?
I know. that's all it is. Like I said, that sums it up perfectly. It's just
you get to it again.
It's
and
not
you're
that
like,
it wasn't enjoyable. It's just that I just wanted to read any of the other the main characters.
I mean, I still could have very much done without it, but it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm of the same. No, go on, Tom. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, next nominee. There's too many nominees. It's Gaul.
Gaul.
What?
Are you kidding? He goes in the wolf dream with Perrin. Perrin leaves him. And he stands in front of the fucking cave and fights off God knows what, protecting Rand during the actual fucking last battle that matters with the Dark One. All by himself and a bunch of fucking wolves he can't talk to.
So that's the exact same thing I just denigrated Tom Maryland for in the other world, where he says,
"Oh my god,
different.
come
This
on,
is way different."
That was insane what he did. Like the endurance that they were like, I don't know how he survived. Like Perrin was expecting to go in and find him dead.
Gaul literally becomes Snake Eyes. Instead of one wolf,
fucking crushes in this book.
All right, next nominee is Johnny. You put Moraine.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about this last book makes her MVC?
Without her, she's one of the 2 people channeling, or 3 people channeling through, 4 people channeling through Kalendor. Obviously, key. She's one of the people who helps Rand understand what the fuck he really is doing, because he had this idea all the way to the end that he could kill the dragon, the Dark One. And she helped him remember. No, she was key in so much of the stuff around, kind of just at the Field of Marilor beforehand. And she's. I
mean, it's Moraine. I mean, she's with Nynaeve at the last battle with him. I mean, that's important.
That was the first thing I said. Yeah.
All right, next nominee, real quick. And before we finish all the final 3 nominees, I'd just like to point out nobody picked Perrin. Nynaeve.
Someone wrote Perrin. Yeah, that's why I put Nynaeve. What a Holocaust put Perrin.
Andrew, Olver, and Gaul got not Perrin. I feel like he was critical.
I mean, but he wasn't crucial. Like,
what about Bearlane running the hospital? What about that?
Nah. I wrote Nynaeve specifically, Jono, not just because she was there at the fight, but because she holds Alana's guts in while stopping Rand's Water Madness while he's fighting. I thought that was instrumental, and I thought that was really cool how they did that, because she couldn't channel because it was being used already.
Yeah,
I thought that was awesome. Like, she actually breaks out her herbs and spices, shakes them onto the wound. Kneads the dough a little bit, keeps the guts in.
What spices Nick is using?
That's how you keep the guts in, right? Oregano?
Paprika, little
oregano.
Little cumin side.
For the guts?
Wait by the night of the day.
Yeah, for the guts. Yeah.
That's garlic salt. Next nominee, we discussed him a lot, but your next nominee is Matt.
Matt is MVC for having natural immunity and being the only person who could kill Fane. Oh, Wyatt Man Wild.
Real winner potential there. I mean, this one was a.
I mean, I just wrote for winning the goddamn battle, but yeah, I mean, Matt's he's easy. He's easy second place.
Like, there's 2 characters where you could say, none of this would have happened without them. I guess you can pick Perrin too with all of his Dream Spike stuff, and it really. They're all important. But the winner's Rand. Come on.
Yeah, the winner's Rand. Come on.
I want to go back to that Matt thing so badly because
he wrapped the Dark One up in a little ball and like flicked him off his hand, and then I think he just put him in a little shoebox, right, or like a little box, like a jewelry box, and then put it in the ground.
Something.
Yeah, one of a jewelry box. That's not
just like a little something you'd put a ring in, like, and you could just like
a little clamshell.
Yeah. He kind of did one of the genies at the end of Aladdin and was like 10,000 years, and he like flew off. Yeah.
Oh. I never pictured that before. Like a balloon helium balloon that you just pop and sit it.
Little sparkles went flying by it.
In this Age of Legends, when Mierin and as Betamon, whatever, opened the Cave of Wonders. And
Yeah.
Here it is.
The Cave of Wonders.
This
Yeah.
Dark One fucking game.
Everyone knows that Rand's the diamond in the rough. Even Perrin's last stuff in the books is crazily looking for Fail. Thank you, Ayush.
It's true. Very true.
It's got a real Michael from Lost screaming Walt the entire 3 seasons vibe to him.
Taped the Dark One up like a gerbil and made him disappear. God damn. Okay.
Like a little, again, a ripoff, like a little baby snake Voldemort.
We got a lot of contenders here. Dana said Matt/Egwene/Rand. Okay. I mean, Egwene was instrumental in like stitching the world back together with the Flame of Tarvalon.
You don't get to win if you don't get to win
untrue.
If you die. Dying is failing. She died.
Yeah, you can't be MVC. The MVC holds up the trophy at the end.
Congratulations on not winning.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that, but all right.
No, I agree.
If Tom Brady died in the third quarter of the Super Bowl and the Patriots still won, would they make an MVP? He clearly didn't.
Yeah, of course they would. They'd be like, "Holy shit, our quarterback!"
Sympathy vote all the way.
He'd be the first post-mortem MVP.
You'd be wrong about that because, you'd be right because a guy died on the field last year and they brought him to the hospital and brought him back to life.
And guess what?
Then he played football this year, and the comeback player of the year was not him. It was Joe Flacco because he was old but still played quarterback, and everyone was like, "Wow, look at this old guy play quarterback." The guy died.
The guy that literally died and came back to life.
A question for you: the guy who died, I forget his name. Is something?
It's Damar Hamlin.
Yeah, he lost his connection to the Horn of Valir.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: if he would have died in that game last year and not come back this year, he certainly would have won comeback player of the year because he fucking died.
Wyattman said, "So Rand is Richard Gere. How do you spell his name?"
You'll get it.
I enjoy because we shouldn't care about spelling.
We don't have to discuss that.
I think it's ERE, by the way.
It is ERE.
All right.
I think that's right.
Oh my god, that was great. Good stuff. All right, next category.
Okay.
Yeah, this is long. I'm not gonna do all your nominees, so just get ready. Biggest catfish.
Biggest catfish of the book.
I put so many. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, I didn't.
I'm gonna run through
few.
some very fast, so you don't get to talk about them. I'm just gonna say them.
Okay.
All right. Jono put, there's a chapter called To Be Wasted, and instead of entailing alcohol, it's about Gawain. Fuck that. We don't need to talk about that.
It's a big catfish.
Joe wrote Bella dies and Team Jordan brings her back in the companion.
It's a catfish.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, thank God Bella's dead, because everyone universally hates Bella. And then when they brought her back in the companion, everyone was like, what the fuck? What a catfish.
Joe, you wrote Galad is Rand's half-brother, which isn't a catfish because it's not like Galad was trying to trick anybody.
I mean, but it's a hidden thing, and then Rand reveals it. It's
not a hidden thing.
It's to certain people.
You have to just look at a fucking family tree.
There was the end of Bella. There was a min.
Oh no, you're on it too much. You're on it too much.
That's a good one, Bella. Everyone loves.
Everyone
universally loves Bella.
After all the things that Jono said about enjoying Brandon for finishing the book, he wrote Brandon Sanderson for his writing.
I will confess.
Jono, it's so mean.
I'm being a little salty at this point.
He did us all a huge,
There's no fucking doubt about that. No fucking doubt about that. But there are times where I'm looking at some of the things, and I know this is not his series. I get that, but I'm just kind of like, all right,
next. Joe, Egwene has fake Dartwind seals. I don't know. The weird thing is that's not Joe's final answer. You think of Joe's listing nominees, and he gets to the last one, and he would just put I don't know, Egwene has fake seals. I don't know, but then he put another one after them.
They're not in order. I just throw them down as I have thoughts.
I know, but
Beach wrote Rand faking his death so he can get some quiet time away from his 3 wives.
That's a smart man.
Quiet
Unfortunately,
man said, "Go in for being heroic," when we all knew he was just jealous.
yes.
Let's see. We've got
Yeah,
Jono,
we agree.
Jono put
Jono's
the
an
great
asshole.
captains, and Joe put Hessalam, and I guess in some sort of combination, there's some sort of catfishing going on there. But
Yeah, the Compulse great captains in their last battle fuckery. Yeah, but I mean, it's really her that's doing the catfishing. It's not the great captains. It's her using them to catfish everybody.
It's much funnier if like Joe was like, I was actually catfished by someone who claimed to be hot online. It was Hesselon.
Tesla, she got me again.
she tricked you, man. She tricked you.
She fucking tricked me with her goddamn Aquaman style whoop whoops.
Joe nominated Sindane turns from the shadow, then dies.
In quotes, dies in quotes. Turns from the shadow.
Jono put Matt's plan at the field of Marilor. Not really a catfish.
You mean the heights?
All of it. So
The Pavlov Heights?
Ghost Heights.
So, yeah,
The Pop Heights?
Catfishes the Dark One's generals. Like the whole point
I mean, he
is-
does. Yeah, he really fucks them over.
Like that's the whole point of his plan is to look.
He's
just
like, we'll
bad
dam up
enough-
this river. We'll
Yeah,
yeah, he catfished that whole battle.
yeah. I thought
He's
that
like,
was-
oh, we're losing. Just kidding.
I mean, that might be the biggest the lifetime achievement award for catfish, or just.
I mean,
up at
I
the end
think
and be
that's
like, I'm
I mean,
actually the
he
greatest
even
general
has
in
a
the history of
fake
the world.
fight with Tuan, and then like brings the Shanchan back at the last second.
yeah.
That's
I
catfish.
love
That's
Lifetime
it's a
Achievement
complete.
Awards.
Let's
I
see what
can't-
else we got here. All right,
When
Jono
we're
put the
looking for filler later on this year. I'm sorry, I spoke over you. What did you say, Tom?
we're just moving on. Jono put the
All right.
entire Thane plot, which is not really for this book so much as it is for the entire series. That's a hell of a catfish.
Yeah,
Good ghost. Do you guys watch Friends?
I mean, yeah, ish.
Have you ever seen the episode where Joey does $100,000 pyramid?
No.
You guys ghost like 2 different times. It's
I
like
don't- I mean,
it's
honestly, if I have seen it, I don't remember.
it's like the clue is like things that are white, and he's like a house,
Ghost.
a refrigerator, a ghost, and he says it's so weird. It happens more than once. I don't know. I think of it every time. All right, moving on. It's like he's scared. What's left? I know there's 2 good ones. Where do they?
You got all mine.
You guys nominated so many. I didn't get all yours. Oh wait, did I get all of yours?
Yeah, that's it.
That's a shame because there's one very clear winner. Jono had one more. Jono is good. Rand is Morden. Morden is Rand.
Oh yeah, it's kind of what Beej was saying. Actually, I would agree with Beej's version of this. Rand faking his death to get some quiet time from his 3 wives, but they're the only ones that know he did it. So like, it's really he's not catfishing them. He's catfishing everyone else in the world.
He catfishes everyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
That'd be a better nominee if the people that he's saying he catfished aren't the only ones that knew. The winner is the Mandrid. Come on.
For being like, but who? So wait, question for you. In your mind, who's the target of the catfishing?
The Sharans?
The entire continent.
Interesting.
He tricks an entire continent of people.
But no, he doesn't. They don't think he exists. The only person who's catfished is really.
No, doesn't he come and be their like Karakarn?
What-
Isn't that what he
how
does?
How about the reader? Is Tame the winner for biggest catfish?
That was in my like
For actually being himself?
Yeah.
well that's a Robert Jordan thing.
Just fucking with you was me the whole time. Yeah, we know. You said your name. Yeah, but you didn't know if it was me.
And I did get away with it, you meddling kids.
Do you ever watch like a really good mystery or read a really good mystery and you're like, I wonder who it is, and you're thinking about it the whole time, especially if it's like a TV show, and like week to week you're like, I can't wait to find out it's got to be this person or this person, and then they do the big reveal and it's someone you've never seen before,
I hate
So
that.
that's every
And it was-
Scooby-Doo episode.
and it was unguessable. That's what
Lauren
is.
hates watching shows like that or movies like that with me because I'm always like, they did it. And then when we watch the end of the movie, she's like, how the fuck did you?
Come on.
But you spend the whole time trying to guess who Dan is, and you get to the end, and it's like, and he was never here.
It was never here.
That is exactly. All right,
Here's the reveal.
maybe that's the
He
catfish.
was never here.
That
He
is
was
the catfish.
No one ever. That
No-
one works for me.
No one you've ever seen before, ever, for even 1 second. He did a couple things. They didn't really matter that much, and that was it.
He was here handing out weird cards for a bit.
Oh, technically, Shar and Renland are the same continent. Get out of here, Beach.
He's correct. He's correct.
I know he's correct. It was the old man Malar.
Wait, I
Wait,
had
check
that
them
in
out.
mind, didn't I? Didn't I have that Malar technically catfished everyone?
You did
Did
not.
he?
Oh,
Or if you did,
I
I
had
delete-
last
I-
4 books running. That's why.
Yeah.
Sometimes I delete answers because there's already 15. So
I
I have to
didn't have
just
it this
leave.
one.
I have to leave the ones that matter.
I didn't have it.
Sometimes-
this-
And sometimes I forget what you both nominated, because if you both nominate the same thing, I just delete the answer that's the least entertaining.
Which is
Like, if
always
you both-
because Jono
if you-
is filled with entertainment.
I don't
If you
know
both-
what the.
Like if you both nominate Rand, I delete one of your answers, and then I don't remember what it was.
I'm not sure EY or Deloitte would really appreciate the way this award ceremony is done. With this auditing the-
I can't. We're definitely have to circle back to this. The Lifetime Achievement Awards are the greatest for the whole series in each
That's
category.
what I was gonna say. Is like
Yeah.
what we need to do, because we're gonna need some filler at some point in like 6 months.
It's not filler. Stop saying.
Oh, I know. We're gonna need some fucking thing.
We're gonna need a one-off episode, is what he means.
Yeah.
We're gonna need more outstanding content
Yeah,
to deliver to people's faces.
yeah.
You heard what Tom said, everybody. Like and subscribe.
We're past 500 episodes of this bullshit.
Before we move on, Tom, to the last category, we gotta catch up. We only covered one 3-pronged plan last week.
That's perfect, because I have to use the bathroom. But hold on one second.
Oh,
Do you guys really think that like we're just sitting around doing nothing, watching TV, and having drinks like separately in our houses, and then randomly one of us texts the other ones, and we're just like, "What if we did like awards or something?" That's bullshit. That's not how it works.
This is totally thought out. Comedy gold.
Weeks and months of planning meetings to decide what's coming next. All right.
In all fairness, tWoTcast season 2, which is coming up soon, everybody, is that did take a lot of weeks and months of planning. Yeah,
Not for
and
us.
That's not,
Yeah.
No, I've been
Do the,
planning and doing things.
Well, that's just you. That's not for us.
Oh yeah,
Do the prongs. Do all 3.
All right, the
There's
prongs.
only one award. There's only one award left. You got to do all 3.
Oh no, we did headaches. We did headaches last week. Wait, no, we did weather last week. Sorry. So 3-pronged plan. The dark one's 3-pronged plan. It's headaches.
Oh, no. So I will say this. Here's my notes for 3-pronged plans. That's always fun. So what you see with a lot of writing is just weather.
Okay. What do you got for? I got one for headaches. I just wrote Hessalon, but I mean, it's really just all the compulsion.
So that
It's all the. I mean, she literally scrambled Rorik's brains, as well as others.
And so that was the only thing I could think of afterwards, because I have nothing written. I was just like, wait, don't the great captains get confused? Well, confusion, headaches. So yeah, you are correct, Joe. Thanks for doing my work for me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I think she's by far the best. I mean, she's the best representation of headaches in this book, for sure.
I bet having sex with her, quite a headache.
Moving on. Are you ready?
Unless you want to talk about her riding your face.
Hessalon?
Yeah, that'd be a headache.
I mean, it would be, because I mean, look at the undercarriage on that.
Yeah, that would like wrap around half your skull, like those labia.
Oh god. God damn it. You always sneak one in there.
Yeah.
All right, the dark one's 3-pronged plan. It's rape. Look, there's a lot of sexual assault in these books. It surprises usually someone working for the dark one.
Doylan Millar.
I always enjoy that graphics, a girl on top of a guy.
Listen, every other graphic I thought of putting on that one just, looked very bad. So I was like, how can I do this that's not just horrible?
And somehow that stick figure looks distressed. just like, no, stop it. Stop cowgirling me.
Stop.
Oh, man.
So the answer is Joel and Millar. As far as the rape goes, like that is.
I mean, yeah, but so Millar just catfished tWoTcast. He thought he was the greatest rapist, and he failed at his greatest moment. Says Peach.
I mean, he raped Brigitte's head right off her body.
I wrote Millar, but I wrote almost got him. There's a really good episode of Batman the Animated Series where the bad guys just sit around a table talking about how they almost got Batman. And then at a certain point, Killer Croc, who's like kind of like a big dumb idiot, just went like, one time I had a rock. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, and then I threw it at him. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, I missed. And that was the whole thing. And they're like, what the fuck? And by the way, it turns out that Killer Croc, actually Batman, he catfished them all. And he didn't got them. But yeah, Millar was like, almost.
He was so like that is still one of the.
We thought Millar was the greatest rapist, but it was Rafe the whole time.
I'm so glad somebody else
Damn.
said it.
Wyatt, man. Jesus
Not that we've ever
Christ.
said that.
We've never said his name differently, like rape.
Yeah, see,
Anything.
Tylen Millar. She needed a husband. That's not bad. Not bad, DK.
By the way, we should definitely.
They're not a good match. They're not a good match.
No. Don't see it.
They're a good. You know, when you hear about those couples that like kidnap and rape and murder people, they'd be a great match for that.
How many couples do you hear about?
Not enough. Do you have Netflix? It's like every other documentary.
That's true. Yeah.
We're onto the wrong stuff. I'm on a
All right. Well, we always have to bring it down by talking about sexual assault. So let's get out of this hole we dug ourselves.
You said that as if it happened naturally and by accident, as if it didn't happen with a graphic.
Yeah, I know. I'm well aware of what I do. Listen, I'm just making a graphic that explains how we think all the time. So I mean,
It is built into the show. It's also built into the series. Let's be real.
Do you guys want to know why we don't talk about our wives very often? Because
that's why there's a disclaimer at the bottom of that graphic, Tom. Okay.
You ready for the final category?
Final category of the evening.
This is the last one of the tWoTties proper.
The last one of the tWoTties proper, yeah. It's the on your left moment of the most fucking amazing moment of the book, the most awe-inspiring.
This is going to be weird.
It throws me off every time when Tom's not there, by the way. Like, oh shit.
I read my answers, and my answers are amazingly bad.
Oh yeah, they are. We're gonna go through them all. I actually don't even know if you guys wrote down a winner, but I guess we'll do it. Here's let's start with Jono's answers.
Okay.
They're not good. Jono's first nominee is kind of everything about this book, The Horn, the Battles. I don't know why he didn't write etc., but so his nominee is
the whole book,
everything.
So you're just reading the whole book at like full mast?
I read this book.
Joe, my question is, how do you feel about everything?
Well, all of my answers fit within inside of that, so I think pretty good.
Are you surprised it didn't win?
How dare you?
A little bit.
How dare you?
Winner.
I'll say three things. One, I'm a very sensitive man, and I sometimes ejaculate at the touch of a thing. Number two, extremely unrelated. As I've said before on the show, I remember everything about buying this book that day. I met Joe at Barnes & Noble, not half a mile from his house.
Mm-hmm.
I took it back to my house. Sounds like it's a woman in my basement. I then read the whole goddamn thing in one fucking day. So I will say this. Yes, everything about this book still chill-inducing. I know I have my complaints. Some of them are pretty deep some days now. But the first time I read this book, the first day I read this book, fucking immaculate. Everything about it was perfect. So
there's so many big moments in this.
Well, I know. I got all of them, didn't I?
I guess you did. Because here's Jono's next nominee. Most of all, the ending.
Oh my God! Come on.
Pretty fucking good, isn't it?
Most of all, the ending. These are horrible answers. It's just
I
bad,
do love
Jono.
that he is missing. He's intentionally skipping past one of my answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might, and honestly, might be the winner based on everything you guys listed here. Let's go through some stuff that you guys didn't list. A Gween fighting and dying.
Yeah, but I sometimes when I put something somewhere else, like I put that as an Artex dies thing. So like sometimes when I put something somewhere else, I'll take it off the list for it because my on your left got like huge, and I was like, oh shit, I should maybe put some of these other places. But Egwene dying was more of a sad moment for me. That's why I did that.
What
But yeah,
about,
Egwene that was huge. Yeah.
What about Swan and Gareth Briney then with Min? That's a big moment.
For an on your left?
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
What about your nominees, smart guy? Remember everything. Most
Well,
of all
explain
the
yourself.
end.
What about that moment was like?
That's a big moment. It's depressing. They die, and it's Min's thing, and it's like
That's an Artex thing.
Yeah, that's
I
an
guess.
Artex dies thing.
I'm just trying to
It's
think
all
of.
inspiring.
Yeah.
It's chill inducing. It's not
Yeah.
crying myself to sleep.
Come on, Rhubarb.
All right,
No,
let's
yeah, come on, Rhubarb.
Who's in the last battle?
All right, we'll do one of Joe's. Joe put Land kills Damodred. Let's wrap up into it. Galad going to fight him first, then Gwen, reverse that, and then Land going. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that was a big one for me. And and ultimately Lan obviously being the one to like do what he taught Rand how to do so long ago in the first books, and then sheathing the sword into his body to kill Damodred was fucking awesome. Like it was just a good fight. He's getting Darth Vader's smashing him with parts of the Death Star or whatever around it, like Cloud City or whatever,
Yeah, tossing rocks.
He's whipping it away with his sword. It's awesome,
No, I'm right there with you. That is an awesome sword fight. It's an awesome series of sword fights. It's really kind of entertaining. Bizarrely, Galad does the worst, but he gets a lot of screen time. Galad does decently.
Well, we'd seen the scene like 2 times already.
Yeah.
So like when it finally gets to Land, I do like how whenever that happened, like Damodred's like bring it on, and like all the Sharms would like make a circle around, like it would kind of like,
Yeah.
by the time Land's there, I think it's more of a battle, and like he has his troops with him too fighting.
Yeah.
But like there is still like kind of a circle around them while they fight, so they kind of like square off while all this insanity is happening, and that in and of itself is really awesome too.
And
It is a weird callback to. I don't know whether like how often does a general meet another general in the field and they just sword fight and then the winner's just like, okay.
I didn't come here to win. See, Wild Man Wilds nailed it. That line. It's like there's certain things about the Land fight that you're just like, fuck yes, like I don't know.
That's exactly right. Like that line changes everything about it, which is interesting because Gawain by definition doesn't matter. He's gonna fucking die. A, from being a piece of shit, and B, from being on the blood knife.
Goblin loses even though he's got a belly full of bath salts and he still can't do it. Like he should be ready to fucking go crazy.
I don't know if you know. I call it being on the blood knife, like it's like a menstrual cycle, because it kind of is for him. Like he's just lost his fucking mind. He sucks. Anyway.
All right, next nominee. Let's do Perrin Kill Slayer.
Dude, Parent killing Slayer is like one of my favorite moments of the books, I think.
What did you think of?
I think it's the flickering back and forth. It's the fact that it's simultaneously like in the Wolf Dream and in the real world, and he's like ripping his throat out as a wolf, and then like because the flickers are happening so fast, he's also cool. Smashing his head in with a hammer at the same fucking moment. It's amazing. Like also I really love, I talked about it a little bit last episode, but I really love the portion of the last battle that takes place at Shai Ogul with Hessalam and the Aiel and the fucking evil Aiel are there, and all the like the just everything. Like It's Rolde is awesome up there, like everything that's going on. Gaul in the fucking Wolf Dream, like
Tom Merlin sitting
keeping
alone.
Rand safe, and just
and
so many things. But the Dark Hounds and the wolves fighting, and it's just awesome, dude. And Perrin fucking finally killing Slayer, because Slayer is such a fucking pain in the dick for like since what, book 4?
Yep.
And you're like,
it's like book 2.
Yeah, God, he's been around forever. And so just to see that guy finally die, you're like, yes, crush his skull in, but also rip his throat out. Literally at the same time.
I was trying to think of good nominees for this just based on how sparse your lists are for.
Well, hold
weirdly
on.
enough,
I have
this
a question for
category.
Joe.
Yeah.
Because you've got time to fill and rectum to fill, it sounds like. Did you... when we've seen Slayer's point of view in this book, there's a lot of like humanizing. Like, I grew up in that fucking the town, all caps. Well,
yeah.
And I always think of what's his name, Robert Jordan's cousin.
Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah. Did you enjoy? Like, did it change your opinion on Slayer that he grew up there, if you will, and therefore like he'd never known like any sort of warmth, any sort of comfort, or was it just kind of...
You mean like seeing from his perspective that he just had this horrible upbringing?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily.
He's one of the most unabashedly evil characters.
He's just pure evil. Yeah, he's just like, whether he was grown or like pushed that way or not, I mean, he's just pure evil at this point. Like, there's nothing left in him. He's not Darth Vader. You're not bringing him back to the light.
He has no remorse whatsoever.
Yeah, there's zero chance that could have gone any other way other than let's get rid of this fucker. You know?
Do you feel like there was opportunity missed because like I think literally no one understands who he was or what he was or how dangerous he was or who he was related to. Like, we know as the reader, but like nobody else super gets it. Like,
Perrin, I guess, sort of
how dangerous
understands.
He was, and like
he's like a weird inverted version of a golem, really, right? Like the golem can actually move in through such weird.
Also, like when the golem finally got it too, I was like, yes, you know, like kind of like the same thing. It's those like, two just purely murderous fucking pieces of garbage that I'm just like, get them off the fucking board. And the way that he does it is just
like a weird relative of Randon Land that's one of the most dangerous people alive, and like nobody really knows.
The town was Las Vegas.
Perrin's really just like, I'm just mad this guy keeps killing my dogs.
I'll tell you what,
that's not all it was. It was like the dream spike thing and like the keeping his people trapped, and like it was endless. It was tied to the wolves, of course.
Killing my dogs. It's like
But Perrin looks at him as an enemy. Like, I don't know what this guy's fucking deal is, but I'm tired of it. Not like this guy could end the world.
Yeah,
that's true. Beach asked, did Slayer lose his virginity to a Trolloc?
No,
I mean possibly.
He won his virginity from a Trolloc.
It was a sheep Trolloc, so almost the real thing.
I'm pretty sure it was
a sheep Trolloc. Just fluffy and white coming out from a black spiky armor. Fucking love it. Floppy ears. Doesn't look threatening at all. Oh man.
Would that be Shark? Like, I don't know the name, but either way, I'm very interested in this Trollic's plight. That's like the first time I've actually cared about
the arrows lighting the way for Rand's charge was awesome. I forget that.
I think there's a shitload of moments, but
I
think it would be like 1,000.
Did someone nominate the whole fucking book?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Darlin doesn't get the credit he deserves for actually being competent after the Itarude thing happens and they're about to be fucked in the backside. I agree.
Should we go back and make the winner?
What is it? Awe-inspiring, Ayush.
Yeah.
I might go back and make the winner of the whole fucking book.
There's some very
winner's the whole fucking book.
I think that winner is the whole fucking book.
Actually, the nominee is the whole fucking book. Winner is most of all the ending. But we'll do the other nominees too.
Okay.
Brilliant whoever put that together.
It's insane to me, but Jono actually got the right answer.
Ulver's ears brought up it's only a weave. See, that was another fucking amazing parent thing.
Mm.
I mean, like that was awesome, man. Like when he like dissipates the balefire and she's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "It's only a weave, queen." And then he just leaves. I'm like,
this should definitely be
love it.
Everybody just keep throwing shit out there that was awesome.
Yeah, chat. I mean, chat's already doing it, but yeah, throw all your comments in there. We want to see.
If I remember correctly, that was something like Bram actually put together a post that he actually had gone to a downtown hairdresser, and that's where he got that one.
Okay, we're done with that. All right, one of Joe's nominees was The Pipe.
The
Yeah.
Pipe's awesome. It's up there in the moments. I mean, I know it's like the very, very, very tail end of the book, but like it's the last little bit that you're like 100% certain Robert Jordan wrote. It's the fact that you don't know what's going on still. Like, 'cause he has no connection to the. I love that it's like we don't understand still, like how he lit it. It's fucking awesome. I know it's like it's a little like trite, I guess, because it's like that's the end of the books, and like I love, but I mean it fucking so good.
Yeah, who gives a shit? It's the last words that Robert Jordan wrote. Exactly.
The whole Morden body switch thing was amazing. Like I actually really loved that because, like I said earlier, when Tom was talking about losing hands and stuff, it always bothered me that Rand lost his hand and he was like his body was just done and spent, and like it's kind of this awesome weird thing that he like gets to go on. I guess I love that.
Do you think Robert Jordan came up with the idea for this series when he was watching The Parent Trap? He's like, but what a fantasy.
Lindsay Lohan or the other one?
Haley Mills.
Haley Mills. I mean, it's Robert Jordan we're talking about. Of course, it's Haley Mills. Oh man, yeah, of course he did.
All right, another nominee from Jono is our final nominee because we already named the winner. Doyle and Millar almost cutting out Elaine's babies, and then he put "so close" in all caps. And that would have been the winner by a mile.
It was awe-inspiring, only in the sense that I was like, is Brandon reading or listening to our show? We had talked about him gutting Elaine and taking the babies out because it stemmed from a conversation of Elaine being so headstrong that she would survive because her kids live. And that's because that was Min's vision, was that the children live. So Elaine's interpretation of that is that somehow that means she'll survive. And I'm like, that doesn't mean shit. You could die. They could cut those kids out of your fucking stomach. Like, I don't know. But also, yeah, that's the best. And they almost did it. So the point is, we had joked about that so many times on the podcast as they got closer and closer to the end of the books that I was just like, this feels like we did this.
I like to think that was Brandon's way of putting us into the books like he did everybody else with like fake innkeepers and stuff.
We're gonna pretend. You know what? I'll email Alan and Maria and just like say.
I'd be like, listen, can you just level with us? Is that us?
Yeah.
Is that us?
Oh, wait a second. Is Doyle and Millar us?
Wait a minute. That actually makes a lot of sense now because Maria and Alan did listen to the podcast. So maybe in my head, I'm like, Brandon would never listen to our podcast, but they're in his ear all the time. So maybe
we need a representation for tWoTcast in these novels, and it's Doyle and Millar.
One of my favorite moments was when Lan and Tam met, and he brought up the Heron Mark sword. Interesting. That's a good moment. That's a good one. I like that.
I think there's a relentless amount. That's the thing that makes me the saddest is that Brandon's not the greatest at writing like those personal character moments, and like Robert Jordan would have crushed them like one by one by one. Like I think they would have fallen like dominoes for 1,000 pages. It would have killed us.
I think that's
it almost did. It almost did.
Like I didn't love Rand and Tam's interaction in book 13, and like obviously the point is like, oh, you're not supposed to at first. I think that's a 12 when it first happens. Yeah, it's a 12, but like. When it does happen, like if you look at some of the dialogue, and I'm not intending to shit on Brandon because if you look behind me, which you can't because it's computer, there's a couple dozen of his books, and I've read them all, Brandon's books, but he's just not quite the same author. Like he's not quite the same.
Not at all. Yeah.
And like that's not a good or bad.
To this day, I can't think of a single human being that would have been able to do it.
Exactly.
In the satisfactory way. I'm not saying another author couldn't have done what he did. Of course, sure. But like
maybe it
would it have been done in the way that was so like he has this way of writing that he didn't impose himself onto the books too much. Like he allowed it to be Robert Jordan still. To the best of his abilities, kind of thing. He didn't he didn't put his own like, oh, it's me now, R. Martin, and I'll finish them up. Like I don't know. Like I feel like anybody else would have had too much of an ego and put too much of themselves into the writing to like
Yeah.
Put their stamp on it, sort of
I
thing, or whatever you want to
I
call
thought
it.
it was about Robert Jordan. I was like, well, they were Robert Jordan's.
No, Brandon finishing the books.
that makes more
I mean,
sense.
like, yeah. Donald Trump could have finished the books. What? Get out of here. While the Holocaust, he just said he finished my books. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that,
There you go.
yeah.
And again, like we are drunk dicks, especially Tom. So apologies for anything
100%.
that we say that's out of time. Like, again, I say it every fucking time, and I fucking mean it. Like, forever goddamn appreciative of everything he did to do them. Like, literally, I still remember checking every time when he was doing his rereads, because he would reread the entire thing before writing a book. He would talk about how far he is in a rough draft, all that shit. I remember all of it. Dick fucking hard as can be for me, which is not very hard. You can ask my wife. But like everything about it was just like thrilling. And I've read all of his current shit, so I do really appreciate the guy. I just see some of the flaws now, and I'm just kind of like, but why couldn't it have been a little bit this way? That being said,
No, fair. I mean, that's fair. It's okay to like reread something and overanalyze a piece of it and go like, this could have been so much better if it had just been.
Yeah, Doyle could have fucking pulled them out.
That will always be a huge regret for me. What do you think about
That was really fucking awesome when Brigitte comes back to life, though. I mean, I know I didn't get to see Elaine die, but that is a fucking amazing scene.
Tom, what were you trying to say?
What do you think about a book of Robert Jordan's notes, edited and compiled somewhat in order, like for the end of the books, that is a stand-in for the ending of the books? What if that's all they had instead of what we got? Would you have been satisfied or felt good about that? You'd have to obviously connect a lot of dots.
Yeah, you would have had like fill in a ton of holes. And
would you read that book? What if they just make that book now? Like, let's.
Well, of course I'd read it.
I'd read the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I'd read the shit out of it. Like,
I've
always
read it 1,000 trillion times.
The answer is,
if anything, it would have just spawned a billion theories from everybody on like Matt Hatches of the internet, like on Theoryland, and just been like, it would have just spawned like 8,000 fan fictions.
What's stopping them from putting that out?
I think because Robert Jordan didn't want that. I think it
probably not. And then also, I know a large chunk of it. Like I've talked to Maria about this before, but like and Alan too. But like one of them, they both kind of said at different times, I guess is what I'm trying to say, that they really don't want to like highlight what Brandon did and what Robert Jordan did. Like at the end, like they just kind of want to leave it.
I would just like to read all of the notes. And like all the.
I mean, you can go to the college, right? What's it called?
All of them.
Dana knows.
The Citadel.
The Citadel. Thank you.
Do you think
you can go to the library at the Citadel and read all his notes? You can like check chunks out of it and read all through it.
I don't think everything's there. But I think there's
I think it's pretty much there, though. I think
what
it's
if I could just buy a book and read it though?
Well, that would be a different story. Yeah, like if they just like published his notes, that'd be incredible. Like every single Wheel of Time nerd would be like, yes. I mean, isn't that what like the Similarian is? Like, isn't that basically just like Tolkien's notes?
Oh, like how dare you?
Someone spicing it up.
The Silmarillion is a bunch of stuff that he had finished, and then mostly finished. Mm-hmm. And also, yes, you're pretty close to correct.
Yeah, I would take every little bit. Do you think
like my mom?
They hold back notes where like Robert Jordan wrote like, oh, the idiots that read this are going to eat this up?
I hope they put that one out there too. That's all his notes were for book 12, 13, 14.
Or do you think I bet he had a lot of notes that were like super explicit and he's like, obviously dial this back.
I'd buy arches. Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like how much do they I mean, does it matter anymore?
I would like to see the page where Harriet finally wrote the note at the bottom that just said too many three-ways.
Too many. It's okay if it's in a three-way.
When do we cover the what's it called? The Fallon Blood. And we haven't
done that.
I mean, we could certainly discuss it. Yeah.
So we've discussed.
But Jonathan, the answer is also never.
Hey, we're kind of on tangents, and we've already kind of we kind of did it. I think.
Oh yeah, we did.
Let's
that's all the awards.
That's the award. That's the awards for the night, guys. Yeah. I was gonna say we have to. Oh, hey, Jono. Yes. Yes.
There's a good cream pie scene in page 2 of the Fallon Blood.
Page 2.
Oh, we did
I
Wars
brought
of
that
the
up to Harriet.
Altai, but we've never reread it.
Did you remember the time I brought that up with Harriet and her response?
Yes, I do. That's
called journalism.
Kind of how Sanderson
journalism.
releases the Prime books, which are the first drafts. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd read all that.
Giant Squid.
Oh, I would read all the first drafts.
Is that Davy
Seconds
Jones?
and thirds.
Where are the Altai?
Yes. Where's the Altai?
If it was Eye of the World
first
first draft, Eye of the World second draft, Eye of the World third draft, and it was notes and everything, I'd be like all into it.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know if I'd want to reread Warriors of the Altai.
Yet. Just wait a couple years.
Yeah. No, I need some more space.
You know what was weird? I was at Barnes and Noble the other day and remembering when I was first starting to read these books and like the internet wasn't really a thing. And
then you realize that you're ancient.
Even though you knew the book was going to be out in like 2 years, like I would go to the bookstore and go to the fantasy section and be like, what if there's a new Robert Jordan book? And like there's
you're like, oh, there's not.
You're just like, what?
I often text Joe. I think I do it to you too. Like I haven't gone to Barnes Noble in a long time, but when I would go to it, I could just say like I would count every Robert Jordan book. Like, they only had 7 of 14, or they got the first 6, and then there's some like just bullshit. Like I would do the same thing, even now that it's all fucking fully published. I always just kind of.
Oh yeah, no, I always wander past.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is, I went to Barnes and Noble 2 weeks ago, and I went to the fantasy section. I went to the J's, and I'm like, maybe there's something I haven't read yet.
There isn't. There's not gonna be. I do it too. Yeah, I mean, there might be like, what if one of those new covers, catches my fancy or something? I might randomly pick up.
What if they
copy.
split this book into 18 parts and made 18 different books? And what if
but back in the day, like when we were so like bereft of art for these characters, and all we had was Darrow K. Sweet, they released like the Eye of the World and the Great Hunt. They split it into 2 for like young adult readers.
Yeah,
and the covers on those I always really loved. I was like, "Oh, this is great, fan!" Like the first part of the Great Hunt kind of features the Gween getting captured by the Shanchan. It's a really good cover. Like there's the second part of the Eye of the World has like them going into the Blight, and there's like like their sticks are literally pulling at their hair and stuff. It's really really good art. I really liked it. So I mean, like I have those copies of those books just because I was like, I just want more pictures of these characters that don't exist anywhere.
You're like me buying all 5 covers from X-Men #1, and then like when even as I buy the 5th one, I like flip through the book and I'm like, I wonder if there's new pages in here.
What if there's a new page in here? There's not. It's just a cover.
I go to the graphic novel section in Barnes and Noble too every time and look at the X-Men.
Well, there's also that Egwene prologue or whatever that got into the comic. Did they ever put that in? No, it's in the young adult version. That's where it first was released. Yeah. And then in the comic of the Eye of the World, they put that in the comic. Yeah, Ravens.
Right. It's called Ravens, right? Yeah.
So there is like random. Every once in a million years, are like, hey, I actually found something new.
So you're telling me,
of course, that's not going to happen anymore.
So
I always keep looking. Always keep looking. Noman Garden just said, "Evening all. Did I miss anything?" All of the awards, Noman Garden.
You missed everything.
I hope Noman Garden's been here for an hour and a half. And it's just kind of like, well, let's write a torch under these dumb dicks.
Yeah. Wyatt Man said, I'm waiting for a Cape Cast rewatch.
Yes. I want to do that so bad.
Let's fucking do it.
The greatest show in the history of the world. I think we can get the actors. We must be able to get the actors.
Tom, I saw probably. Tom, I saw there was some random YouTube video that was like lesser known comic shows that were actually awesome or something like that. And it was like a split thumbnail, but like the middle one was the Cape, and I just went.
It's my favorite show of all time. It's so good.
All right. So we're gonna do however many episodes. This is 387. We're gonna do what 8 to 10 to 12, something like that for
8, but it's It's 8 parts, but like it'll inevitably bleed over. So we're looking at 10 probably for talking about Quest 2?
So
Is that what you're
do
talking
some math here.
Yeah.
We got to figure out 1 or 2 for 380 or 3.
Oh no, we'll be with TWoT Quest. We'll be like mid, June.
Again, do the math, the numbers. I don't care about the fucking date, dude. Then we're in 400.
Oh, okay.
401. Do we want to do Cape recast? Or
Here's the thing about recovering the Cape. We haven't covered the Cape in a decade.
I know. Didn't we do the Cape after we finished? Is that
It's been 10 years at least.
Is that when
Oh
we
my God,
finished?
It's been so long.
When we finished the show, was Cape the first thing we did?
If it wasn't the first, it was close to it.
Yeah.
We were doing random things, and we were tacking on an episode of the Cape at the end, which didn't really give it its due, by the way.
Oh.
And then like 4 to 5 episodes in, we were like,
oh, you know what? That was when we first tried to do.
We did some rumbles.
Ultimate?
We did a bunch.
No,
of
that's when we first tried. Oh, we did the Ultimates. Why did we do that? It's when we first tried to do Dungeons and Dragons in the Wheel of Time. We did it with Jimmy. Remember?
Oh, poor Jimmy.
And we would like do a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons, and then we talk about the Cape. I think
we had no idea what we were doing. Still don't. Yeah.
So we had.
Well, we don't need to know anymore. Like
Here's the
Talk does all the work for us.
It's worth circling back. You guys don't even remember the show.
No, I don't know. But I see some of the characters. Like there'll be someone. I'm like, I'll just yell at my wife, like, Shanda, he's from the Cape, and she's like.
Each said the young adult also had artwork of the characters within the books. I don't remember the insides. I don't think I actually physically like read, aside from Ravens, like the prologue with the Queen. I don't think I really like reread it with that volume. I mean,
we should.
I must have flipped through it.
We should wait until we don't want to do this show anymore.
Simone just said, "Did you say Jimmy?" Yes, Jimmy. We did some Dungeons and Dragons back in the day with Jimmy.
The second we do the Cape,
is that an old person show?
Everyone will stop.
Aaron and Tom are in here. Get out of here. What are you guys doing?
I highly recommend
the Wheel of Time RPG. Yeah. The wheel. Oh, I think Beej is referencing the art, but the art in the Wheel of Time RPG is really good for the most part. But I actually owned those books just for that. Actually,
anybody that can prove they watched the Cape in the next episode we do, I'm gonna Venmo you $5.
Tom, we didn't know you back then that well, at least.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. I mean, we can. You done? We're done?
What? I mean, unless you want to talk about the Cape more, I'll talk about the Cape.
So that's tWoTcast for this week. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. And yeah, we're good at we're okay at it. Responding to them. You can listen to the audio version of the show sometime in the far future when I put them on there. tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by the one and only Taffy Bennington and Andrew Bard of Time. And links to their stuff is below. And if you haven't, for some fucking reason, watched every Taffy video and everything that Andrew's ever made, you're insane. And they're so good. Like, they're good at what they do, you know?
How far behind are you on the podcast?
Ages and ages. Legend is faded to myth. It's been a very long time.
How can Tom help?
I won't.
He can't. Next episode. All right, next episode. We can talk about this for a second. Join us next episode for TWoT Quest Season 2, by the way.
But not next week.
But it's not next week. So we're going to take a week off. We're going to take a week off, and then we'll be back with TWoT Quest Season 2, the beginning of Episode 1, with the Puppet Boys, Leafcast, Ryan and Dan. They're going to be on, as they were in Season 1. It's not a surprise.
It should also be noted that Joe calls his fingers the Puppet Boys, so I understand.
I call my fingers the Puppet Boys. It's normal. I don't know why you keep bringing that up every time I mention the Puppet Boys that aren't my fingers.
Time to play. It's the Puppet Boys.
Seems like an elaborate way to jerk off. Seems like it would take forever.
It's not for him. It's for me.
Tom said the art in those books is good, except for the Ogier on the front cover of the main book. Tom, do you know why? Because that's Daryl K. Sweet.
R.I.P.
Sorry. He's not good.
Oh, man. Yeah, tWoTcast Season 2, not March 12th, but the following week. Yeah, tWoT Quest Season 2, sorry. I'm so bad at going back and forth between
This
those.
is all tWoTcast season 1.
Quast. It's
400 episodes
tWoTcast.
to season 1 of tWoTcast.
Oh, I wrote 6 seasons in a movie, so I mean, I guess if this is season 2, I guess we're going for 6 seasons in a movie.
Oh my god.
For TWoTquest.
Oh wait.
I'm
how do
Joe.
we do
Say
it?
goodnight, Jono.
Good night, Jono.
And Tom.
Shut your mouth.
No, study your mouth. Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast code.